From the Richmond Journalism Teaching Studio at the University of Illinois campus, UI7 News, your U of I news source.
Good afternoon, I'm Jacob Diaz.
And I'm Thomas Polson, and this is your UI7 News.
Starting today, Hollywood stars, CEOs, elite college coaches, and college prep executives are just some of the individuals accused of carrying out a nationwide scheme to help students gain admission to some of the nation's top colleges and universities.
That's right, Jacob. Kristen Holmes has the latest on this developing story.
Operation Varsity Blues.
We're here today to announce charges in the largest college admissions scam ever prosecuted by the Department of Justice.
A massive FBI investigation coming to a head. The Justice Department charging 50 people in an elaborate scheme aimed at securing admission to prestigious universities.
We have charged 3 people who organized these scams, 2 SAT or ACT exam administrators, 1 exam proctor, 1 college administrator, 9 coaches at elite schools, and 33 parents.
Among the parents charged are several notable names, including CEOs, a fashion designer, and actresses Lori Loughlin and Felicity Huffman, who was arrested in Los Angeles. Much of the indictment revolves around a man named William Singer, the founder of a college preparation business. The scam worked in 2 ways, through test scores and athletics. In some cases, parents allegedly paying for third parties to take ACT and SAT exams on behalf of their children. In others, Singer contacted college coaches to help students gain admission as recruited athletes, regardless of their athletic ability.
For every student admitted through fraud, an honest, genuinely talented student was rejected.
In Washington, I'm Kristen Holmes reporting.
Now, local ties have emerged in what federal officials are calling the country's largest college admissions scandal in history. This story has a local connection. First Busey board member Elizabeth Kimmel is among those charged in the scandal. Kimmel is one of 50 people charged by prosecutors on Tuesday. She allegedly used her family's charity to bribe the tennis coach at Georgetown to help her daughter get admitted in 2013. Lisa Miceli, the director of college counseling at the University of Illinois Laboratory High School in Urbana, commented on WBUR's Here and Now. She says Rick Singer, the man behind the scheme, even seeped his way into central Illinois. She says she saw Singer speaking to families 4 years ago in Champaign-Urbana and was basically preying on families' fears. In political news, Trump's former campaign chairman Paul Manafort will be serving more time in prison. A federal judge in Washington has ordered Manafort to serve an additional 43 months in prison on charges of conspiracy and witness tampering. The sentence is on top of the 47-month sentence he received in federal court in Virginia last week. In all, the former Trump campaign chairman's full sentence is for 7.5 years, although he will likely get credit for time served. Before the sentence, Manafort apologized for what he did, saying he accepts all responsibility. Texas Democrat Beto O'Rourke announced that he intends to run for president today. O'Rourke served in the U.S. House of Representatives from 2013 through 2019. The 46-year-old made national headlines last year when he narrowly missed out on a Senate spot in an election against Republican incumbent Ted Cruz. During that campaign, O'Rourke raised $70.2 million, which was more than double the amount raised by Cruz, without any support from political action committees. O'Rourke said that he will hold a kickoff rally for his campaign on March 30th in his hometown of El Paso, Texas.
In international news, an Australian cardinal was the Vatican's chief financial officer, and an advisor to Pope Francis was sentenced to 6 years in prison on Wednesday for molesting 2 boys after Sunday Mass in 1996. George Pell will have no chance for parole for 3 years and 8 months. The cardinal was convicted on 5 counts in December, making him the most senior Catholic official to be found guilty in a court for sexually abusing minors. Pell showed no reaction when Chief Judge Peter Kidd handed down his sentence in a hearing broadcast live worldwide from Melbourne. In other news, 2 rockets were fired at Israel's largest city, Tel Aviv, from the Gaza Strip, according to the Israeli military. Initial Israeli media reports say that there was no damage or casualties. 1 rocket landed in an open area, while the other was intercepted by the military's defense system. This is a developing story, and we'll continue to give you updates as it unfolds. Boeing's 737 MAX 8 and MAX 9 aircrafts are no longer flying in the U.S. after the safety of U.S. citizens, concerns were raised about the safety of U.S. citizens by President Trump during a briefing on border security, where he decided that all Boeing 737 MAX 8 planes would be grounded immediately. This grounding comes in light of a crash of an Ethiopian airliner that killed 175 people, including a U.S. citizen. Boeing remains confident in the safety of the 737 MAX models, but recommended the suspension of the planes. At this time, it is not known when the planes will be back in the air. And now, from the air to the ground, let's talk about weather for tomorrow.
Isabella Perez joins us with a look at the quick first weather for the day. Hey, Isabella.
Hello, thank you guys for having me. We have some tornado warnings through northern Illinois and Indiana. Our forecast is looking pretty good for the most part. Friday will be the last day of school before spring break, which is good, but hang in there because it will be cloudy and windy. Temperatures will be steady around the 30s. The chances for rain are high in the morning, so keep an umbrella in your bag. I will have the full weather forecast in a little later in the show.
Alma Otter grew from being an internet meme late last winter to a referendum question on the Illinois student government's ballot, a question that would have pledged support for the Alma Otter as an official mascot. A referendum was struck down by U of I students, failing by 300 votes. Reporter Stephen Cohn has more on this UI7 exclusive and the conversation that continues.
Wood grew up in Charleston, Illinois, attending Illini games with his dad and cheering on Chief Illini Weck during halftime.
My grandpa actually gave him to me.
So when Alma Otter was discussed as a potential mascot for the university, Wood feels not having a mascot would be better than the mammal.
I'd rather have an eye and a shield than a otter.
Others tend to agree with Wood that timing is everything, like former Illinois Student Senate Representative Mark Scher. Scher wrote a report and conducted a commission for ISS in 2016 on the university adopting a potential mascot.
If it had kind of evolved and someone thought it would be funny and made t-shirts and they start spreading throughout the student body and then, people kind of think that's funny, that could have been a real opportunity for it to be sort of this organic, student-led initiative.
And while an otter will likely not be the university's next mascot, there's still a discussion to be had on what, if anything, should entertain future Illini fans in State Farm Center and Memorial Stadium.
Being an Illini fan, I took pride in Chief. I didn't want to see that replaced with something that I kind of considered silly, as just a joke in Alma Otter.
The controversial Chief Illini Weck was retired in 2007, and the university has been without a symbol ever since. In an exclusive UI7 interview, Honor the Chief Society President Ivan Dozier was taken aback by the notion of replacing the nearly century-old symbol with a furry animal meme.
I mean, if you killed me and then said, but we got this dog and we're going to name it Ivan, that doesn't make me feel any better that, you thought I could be replaced with a dog, even though I love dogs. And I would love that you named your dog after me, but I would like to still be here and not feel like I was replaced by that dog.
And while it is unclear whether or not another animal or some other organic idea will take center stage for the next round of voting, one thing that is perfectly clear is that nobody quite knows what is next, leaving the field and mascot conversation wide open, minus a symbol for now. In Urbana, I'm Stephen Cohn, UI7 News.
In other local news, the Champaign City Council candidates for the 2019 elections gathered at the Springer Cultural Center in downtown Champaign this week to chat with local residents. Voters got to ask questions and see how the candidates for the 3 at-large seats stand on some of the most pressing issues. Housing and development were among some of the main topics discussed at the event. Sarangi Punyasena has had so much trouble with the city, she's had to learn the ins and outs of zoning regulations and considers herself somewhat of an expert on the matter.
Segregating people is not the answer, right? So this is why for us zoning is such a big issue. Yeah. It isn't so much of excluding people, but trying to maintain that diversity we already have.
Right.
The elections will be held on April 2nd. Coming up after the break, we have music, dancing, and a health update.
We'll be right back in 2 minutes, so stick around.
Year's acapella tryouts. It'd be nice if we had some talent around here. I might have to join myself. Zoom 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 zoom.
Here's the thing, we started out friends. It was cool, but it was all pretend.
Yeah. Since you've been gone.
Are there no backup dancers? Okay. Wow, wow, wow.
Hi, my name is Mariah, and my hobbies include cuticle care and CI living.
It's all you ever hear me say.
Since GMI, I can't breathe for the first time.
We all know that Illinois is full of very bright students across many social economic backgrounds. The Illinois commitment would send a very strong message that this university is affordable to all of those students who have worked hard and prepared themselves to be successful here. This will be a game changer for a number of families across this state that, yes, you can afford an Illinois education.
Welcome back. Let's jump right into it with some local news. The Krannert Center hosted the U of I's Black Chorus for the 14th annual Black Sacred Music Symposium this weekend. I got to go see the event this weekend, and it was great. There was a rich tradition of Black sacred music in concert. The Black Chorus has been preparing for the symposium for months. Michaela Odom is the president of Black Choir, and she says that being part of a Black Choir has meant a lot to her over the past 4 years.
Being Black in Black Chorus means being in a community. Coming to this university as an African-American woman, there's not many spaces where I can feel so comfortable and where my culture is the dominant one.
Danville Alderman R.J. Davis says that he's a friend of the symposium's founder and director, Dr. Ollie Watts Davis, and has been coming to her shows for years. He says it was wonderful how diverse both the choir and the audience was.
And the other thing that's very impressive to me is the diversity of it. It's quite diverse. Yes, some of the leading singers today, wasn't just African Americans.
Odom also sees value in diversity. To her, it gives other cultures a chance to learn more about her own.
Other people from different ethnicities and races come together, and being able to partake in Black Chorus allows them to gain a deeper understanding of the music that they love to listen to on a regular basis.
Venezuelan student Daniel Belfort says he really enjoyed coming to the symposium.
It was my first time listening to a Black chorus, the Black choir here at the school, and I hadn't seen it anywhere else. So yeah, it was my first time having this experience, and I really want to come again.
The Black Chorus's next concert is their annual Mom's Day show, which takes place on Saturday, April 6th.
Amen. That's all.
Speaking of annual events, members of Illini student musicals Hillel and LGBT Jew hosted the second annual Purim drag show last night at the Canopy Club. Local and student drag performers retold a traditional biblical story, one involving a female hero stopping the Persian king and his right-hand man from destroying the entire Jewish population, all through glamour, lip-syncing, and dancing. Since the Jewish holiday is historically known for dressing up and festivity, Rabbi Ariel Nave says drag provides a chance to highlight queer themes that may not necessarily be featured in other Jewish holidays.
I think by default, by demonstrating that we are here and we are proud members of the Jewish community, and this is how we celebrate Jewishness, not only does it erase stigma, but I think it demonstrates that queerness and Jewishness can go hand in hand, that they're not mutually exclusive.
The show's ticket sales went to the Uniting Pride Center, which supports LGBTQ+ efforts in Champaign County. The holiday is officially celebrated starting next Wednesday evening and through Thursday.
Dinner and a show all in one place at Fiesta Cafe in Champaign. You can stop by for dinner on a Saturday night and hear the sounds of Latin jazz while you dine. I stopped by Saturday night to catch local band The Caribbean Project. The second Saturday of each month, you can stop by Fiesta Cafe to catch local outfit The Caribbean Project, a group made almost entirely of U of I grad students from the jazz program. Mixing the sounds of bolero, mambo, and other types of Latin music, the band offers an experience you won't find just anywhere. Trombone player Ben Carrasquillo attributes that to the unique opportunities that the university offers to Latin jazz musicians. which he found out about after graduating from the University of Alabama and coming to Champaign.
Not only was I surprised at just how big the jazz program was in general, but the fact that we have like a dedicated Latin jazz ensemble, you know, so pretty much every one of us in this group has at some point been in that Latin jazz ensemble.
Carrasquillo says that the band members met through the jazz program and decided to start a project of their own about a year ago. The band plays a mix of styles from different countries across Latin America, and they seem to be a hit. It was a full house at Fiesta Cafe, and most customers stayed until the band's set ended at 11 at night. The band impressed one customer, David Keenan, enough to get him to come back.
I've been here a couple times, but it's the first time I've been here for music. Really enjoying it. These guys are putting on a great show. They put me down once a month to see these guys.
But it wasn't just the customers that enjoyed the sounds, as longtime employee Amy Myers explained.
We're always busy, but you know, we get to work, you know, get a little dance on, and it makes it a little bit more fun and enjoyable for the customers, for us, and for everybody.
And Myers says that dancing isn't the only perk for the restaurant.
Most definitely, these people would not be here this late, so it definitely adds more business.
The Caribbean Project will play at Fiesta Cafe again the second Saturday of each month until at least the summer.
With spring break just a few short days away, an influx of students are attending many indoor tanning facilities on and around campus. While students believe tanning beds are helping them achieve their spring break prep, they come with numerous lifelong effects. The FDA says indoor tanning risks include skin cancer, premature aging, immune system suppression, and eye damage. They say indoor tanning just one time can increase your risk for skin cancer by up to 20%. Some safety tips tanning salons stress include always wearing eyewear, waiting at least 24 hours in between each tan, and making sure you know your skin tone to prevent sunburn.
All it takes is one cigarette to cause harm, and in today's Health Minute, Meredith Wood breaks down how harmful each cigarette can be to your child.
Smoking is terrible for your health and can do irreversible damage to your lungs. And of course, there's warning after warning about the dangers of smoking if you're pregnant. According to a new study, you don't need to go through several cigarettes a day for it to be harmful to your baby. Research published in the journal Pediatrics says just one cigarette a day doubles the chances of sudden unexpected death for your baby. And if you smoke a pack a day, that nearly triples the chance compared to a non-smoker's infant. Researchers analyzed over 20 million births, including over 19,000 infant deaths, and found that each cigarette smoked increased the risk of death by 0.07. One of the study's authors says the important takeaway is that every cigarette counts. So if expectant mothers are trying to quit, they should know each and every cigarette they give up makes an impact. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, 1 in 14 pregnant women who gave birth in 2016 smoked during their pregnancy. For today's Health Minute, I'm Meredith Wood.
Illinois is moving forward with a bill to raise the legal age to buy tobacco to 21. The measure passed in the Illinois House on Tuesday and the state Senate earlier today. Now the bill is in the hands of Governor Pritzker, who's expected to sign off on the bill. So coming up after the break, we have our full weather forecast.
But first, a woman you should know about for Women's History Month, Sojourner Truth.
No matter what college I got accepted to, if I can't pay for it, it doesn't matter.
Incoming students whose income threshold is below a certain amount to be able to attend Illinois without having to pay tuition or fees.
Oh my gosh, there will be a whole lot more people who will be able to afford to go to school.
With this program, students will be able to come and focus in the academics. That's what we want.
Students that do well in school, that want to get a great education, should have an opportunity to go to college.
For the rest of my life, no matter where I go, I will always have graduated from a university that cared about people who historically would not have the opportunities that most have.
I have a fair bit of pride now looking at my institution, making that type of a commitment.
So I can't wait to tell everyone I know and to tell those I don't know that there are some big changes in terms of the University of Illinois and it being accessible for a wide range of students.
This will be a game changer for a number of families across this state that yes, you can afford an Illinois education.
Welcome back to your UI7 broadcast. It is time for your full weather forecast. Let's see what Isabella Perez has for us now.
Jacob, thank you, Tommy, and hello to all of you watching. Let's talk about weather. This week we've had nice temperatures around the 60s, but let's see what will happen next week as we get into spring break. Tonight we will have 40 degrees. We had some showers this morning, but the good news is that these have already ended. Some winds will be blowing from the west at 30 miles per hour, so if you're going out, prepare for quite a windy night. If you're staying around the area for spring break, here's what you can expect for the local temperatures. In central Illinois, there's a high wind warning for the next few days. We have 62 degrees in Rantoul, 64 in Springfield. We will stay around the 60s, so it should feel really good out there. Now let's take a look into the Midwest temperatures. We are expecting some rainfall in Chicago. It will be windy, warm, and wet around that area. With 68 degrees, be careful if you are traveling to Indianapolis because they are under a tornado watch this afternoon. And for those of you who will be traveling around the country next week, here's what you can expect. Warm and sunny with 78. Let's take a look at Seattle. It will be cloudy with 43. And as you can see, New York will be sunny with 62 degrees. Back to Champaign-Urbana, let's see our 5-day weather forecast for Friday. We will have a strong winds coming from the west with a high of 38. On Saturday, we will have some clouds in the skies with a high of 40. Moving on to Sunday, we will see a mostly clear sky with a low of 27. Good news for Monday because the sun will be out and the temperatures will be warm with a high of 45. Tuesday will be cloudy, but we will have a high of 47. So are you ready for spring break? Because I am. This was your weather forecast. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks. So coming up, we have Emily Steinmetz here with sports. Emily, what are we looking at this week?
Well, we've got everything covered from the basketball courts all the way to the diamond. College basketball season is coming to a close, and the latest from the Big Ten tournament as Illinois moves on. Then we're going to take a peek at the newest social media project the Chicago Cubs have laid out. All that and more coming up in after this break.
I am a three-time alumni, and I came to school on a scholarship. I was a student who my parents were not going to pay for my college education. So I would have been one of those students who wouldn't have come to college if the Illinois commitment weren't in place. So I'm very happy that we are providing the opportunities to students to get a college education.
Illinois advanced in the Big Ten tournament last night in an overtime thriller over Northwestern. With both teams trading leads in the second half, the Illini's freshman Georgi Bashanishvili had 26 points and fouled out as the game went to overtime. Clutch threes from Trent Frazier and Io DeSumo closed out the Wildcats and got the Illini the 5-point win in Chicago. After last night's taxing win, Brad Underwood hyped up his guys in the locker room to be physically ready for the next round.
Take care of your bodies. Hydrate, okay, get a good night's rest, and then get mentally focused to go do this again.
The Illini tip off at 8:30 tonight in the second round against the 6th-seeded Iowa Hawkeyes. Illinois lost their lone regular season match to Iowa in January by 24. The winner will face Michigan and join Ohio State, Nebraska, and the winner of the Minnesota, Penn State matchup in the quarterfinals. Though the Illini's chances of dancing are slim, Illinois will still have at least one team trying to bust brackets. The Bradley Braves punched their ticket to March Madness as the Missouri Valley Conference champs earlier this week. Bradley knocked out last year's Cinderella Loyola Chicago in the semis and won the conference a day later with a comeback win over Northern Iowa. This is Bradley's first appearance in the tournament since 2006 when they made it all the way to the Sweet 16 when they were a 13 seed. Fans will have to wait until Sectional Sunday to see when Bradley will play next. Moving from the court to the diamond, the friendly confines expanded when the Chicago Cubs launched a ton of new YouTube content, giving fans an insight into their personal lives. Fans can watch fun segments like Bay vs. Ball Player, where wife Jessica Bryant and first baseman Anthony Rizzo compete to see who knows more about Jessica's husband and third baseman Chris Bryant. Rizzo even took a part in a spin-off advice column titled Call to the Bullpen. Fans can send in questions and have two players answer them on the bullpen phone. Some questions even got a little personal with the players.
That's a great question, Chris. Remember when you skipped my bachelor party in Mexico?
Oh, yeah.
What
happened was my passport expired.
After just 3 days of the videos being posted, some have over 300,000 views, which is enough to fill all of Wrigley Field seats over 7 times. While these videos have proven to be a hit, fans will still have to wait until March 28th for the first game of the official 2019 season. Now traveling from Wrigley on down to Champaign, UI7's Chanel Newsom shows us the new facility unveiled just in time for Central High's baseball season.
Spalding Park.
It began with a community info night last spring of 2018 before a formal groundbreaking event was held at Spalding Park.
I think it's fantastic for the team to be able to have such an incredible facility.
The $3.8 million renovation is a joint project in partnership with the Champaign Park District and the Unit 4 School District. This newly renovated project provides an updated athletic facility to students, coaches, and the community of Champaign. After meetings with the Champaign Park District, athletic staff, and people of the community, Franklin Middle School and Central High School will be able to start their baseball season off right for this spring. Head coach John Stobbs shares his thoughts on the new and improved field before Central High's first home game.
It's exciting for our players, and yeah, it's a great facility. It probably hasn't sunk in yet, but we'll see how it plays here in a few minutes.
Even Central High superfan gave the new renovation a 5-star rating.
Oh, I give it 5 stars. I give it a 5 stars.
Park officials say other parks in Champaign, like Spalding Park, will begin to undergo renovations in the near future.
I haven't seen anything like this in our community before.
In Champaign, I'm Chanel Newsom, UI7 News.
That's all for UI7 Sports. Back to you at the desk.
With the Illini men's basketball team taking the court at the United Center, a different group of teams will be taking the court at the State Farm Center this weekend. The 42nd annual National Intercollegiate Wheelchair Basketball Tournament will be taking place in Champaign this weekend, and both Illini men's and women's teams will be competing. The Illini women, led by head coach Stephanie Wheeler, kicked off their tourney run earlier today against Alabama, whereas the Illini men, led by head coach Matt Bushy, will get their tourney run started later today against UT Arlington. Last time the Illini men won this tournament was in 2010, and they head into the contest with an 8-10 record. The tournament will go from March 14th through the 16th, with 8 different schools competing in the men's bracket and 4 different schools competing in the women's bracket.
Over on Instagram, Chicago's own Chance the Rapper announced that his wife, Kirsten Corley, is pregnant with their second child. The couple are expecting a daughter in September of this year, and Chance the Rapper is a hip-hop artist and a Grammy Award-winning artist at that. We wish them all the best, of course. So, Tommy, you got any spring break plans?
You know, I don't. I'm
week?
going to get a lot of sleep in, maybe do something for St. Patrick's Day, who knows? You know, we got some nice weather coming up, but yeah, we'll see. I don't know. How about you?
Yeah, I don't have too many plans either. I'm hoping to see a concert towards the end of spring break, but I'm just going to be at home with my family.
Yeah.
How about you, Isabella? You got any plans?
Yeah, I'm going on an RV to California, so I'm excited about that. Wow. What about you, Emily?
Well, and that concludes today's edition of UI7 News. I'll be going to Mexico, so that'll be fun.
But yeah, you know, make sure to follow us on UI7 News, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, stay up to date with the latest area news.
Yeah, and when you do subscribe, make sure you hit the little notification icon to get updates anytime we post a story.
We'll be back in 2 weeks. This is UI7 News. Oh, thank you again for joining us this afternoon. You know, like I said, we got a couple weeks for spring break. We'll be back in 2 weeks. For Champaign-Urbana's UI7 News, I am Tom Polson.
And I'm Jacob Diaz. Thanks for tuning in, and have a wonderful weekend and a happy spring break.